Hi guys, this is Juno and welcome back to another account review in Summoners War. Today we are on Steroids LOL's account. And before we start on anything, I am going to say that I am really surprised that this account reached G3. Hey guys, before we start the video, if you guys are interested in getting advice and help from me and other Summoners War players, feel free to join my Discord, where the link is in the descriptions below. Also, if you enjoy my content and want to support me, become a Patreon, where the link for it is also in the descriptions. I want to say I appreciate all the support, and believe me, I really do. Anyways, that was it. Let's get back to the video. So guys, when we look at this account's record, it looks pretty nice. This account reached G3 in regular arena. He reached C2 in RTA, C3, well the other C3 in Special League, and he's currently in a G2 guild. Well, I am actually not exactly sure if that's true, because maybe he was in a G2 guild and he could be in a totally different guild now. He could do all his dungeons, I already checked that out. He did have problem with BGR 5 and he did ask for an improvement on that. And I already made the changes, so I'll show you guys what I did there. Pretty simple. I didn't make it a video because I already made a couple of videos on improving BGR 5s, and if you guys have the rune quality, if you guys have the units, it shouldn't be too much of an issue if you follow the guide. If you follow the guide, it really is a simple process. For some people, it's just too much work. Surprisingly, everybody has other things in their life, and gaming is probably second priority. Let's go check out his box to see where he's at. He does have a lot of units. So he does have an LDNAT 5 called the Nikki. I love the Nikki. I think she's a fun unit in a lot of PvP aspects, like in arena or even guild battles, siege battles. So I think that's a very good Nat 5 to have. We have like Juno and Pernout here. He also has the Fae. I noticed he had a lot of good units for arena offense, but he didn't ask for arena offense improvement. I also noticed he has 3 Zeroses. Yeah, he definitely has a lot of arena offense units. He has a Tiana. I believe he has a Leo. No, so he does not have the Leo, but he has a Tiana. So he can't really go a second turn team, the really efficient second turn team, because Leo allows that. But he could go a fast team with the Tiana or a semi-fast team with the Tiana. If he really wants a fast team, he could go with the Leah, but it looks like she's not fully scaled up, so that kind of sucks. But he does have the Escher. I did see that he has the Chiyu that's just currently not awakened and fully maxed. Chiyu doesn't need his skills maxed because this skill 3 does not gain effective rate by scaling it up. And then he obviously has the Galleon, right? So if he really wants to go a fast team, he could go with the Leah team, he could the semi-fast team, he could go with the Tiana, and then a slow team. Sadly, he does not have Leo, so he have to kind of go with a very well-tuned second turn team with a secondary stripper, like a Juno, a Praha, or even the Chiyu if you decide to not go with the Leah. His box has a lot of potential. Definitely see a lot of units to play around with. He did ask for siege defense improvement as well, 1 Nat 4 and 1 Nat 5. Seeing all these units makes me excited because I do see a lot of varieties I could go with. Let's go on to the runes, and in the runes I was a little surprised because while I was improving his BGR 5, I did already take a slight overview of his runes, and his will crit damage slots look really weak. I thought something was wrong, but apparently it was not. If you go check out his runes and go to will specifically and look at crit damage, look at all, he only has 3 crit damage will runes. Like seriously, it looks really weird. And overall, they're not that great. Probably not a rune that you expected on a G3 arena account, right? I mean, some people do get G3 with luck, and I do think that this account was pretty lucky getting G3. I was expecting a little more than this. If you look at Swift and look at Speed, his runes are definitely not like slow. 26 slot 1 and then a 22, 21 slot 3, so that one's really slow. And then 25 slot 4, 32 slot 5, so that's an awesome rune. He did give it a +5. Sadly, he didn't give this a +10. I mean, you could hold off on this since Swift runes are used for damage dealers as well. And maybe if you want to build your Leah, maybe you want to hold off on this grind because it could go on the rune that Leah's gonna use. And then slot 6 is another 22, so it's not fast. He does have a couple of runes, like 2-3 runes that are fairly fast and one that was really fast. 32 is really fast, but everything else is pretty lackluster. I will take the advantage of the current event where it gives you that item where you could farm 1 rune for an hour. But trust me guys, that thing kind of sucks. It gives you blue runes all the time. But if you're lucky enough, you might get a very good upgrade with this event, with this new item. Let's go to Violent, speed 24, 19. So Violent slot 1, 24 is not bad, but nothing surprising. 21, so you could see that he's missing grinds, and this is because he didn't have a BGR5 team. Another 21. I mean, he was still getting good amount of grinds, because you could see that a lot of these runes are grinded. 23 on slot 4. 20 on slot 5. So actually Violent runes are much slower. I'm pretty sure they're a little more efficient, since Violent, you're not only looking for speed, overall efficiency is a big thing for Violent runes. And then at 27 on slot 6, again, runes with mixing grinds. This could be a 24. I did build him his BGR5 team, so I hope that you start doing your raid. I think I will focus on that first, because you do have a couple of candidates where you could get a better rune with the grind. Finally, let's look at Will. 20 slot 1, 15 slot 3. Wow, that's just amazing. 27 slot 4, that's awesome. And you do have a pretty good crit rate rune that you could use for your Sierra, Praha, Juno. Well, actually not Juno, but yeah, Sierra, Praha. And then a 20 again, not that great. And then finally a 30, that's a good rune. That's a very good, it could be a 31. You would want to give it this legend grind, unless you are aiming for that 13 gem, but legend gems are so scarce, and these gems in general are so scarce. I'll be happy with 11% at this point, because you definitely need more of these gems to improve any new runes that you're going to be picking up along the way. I'll take a look at Despair too, just to see if it's any different, but it looks like overall 1 rune is fast, but everything seems pretty lackluster. Overall, it could be efficient, but speed-wise, pretty lackluster for a G3 arena account. I mean, like I said, you could be lucky to reach G3, especially in global. I haven't experienced the other servers. I only experienced to Europe. But compared to Europe, global is like easy to get a G1 record, G2 record, or a G3 record. And that applies to me as well. Maybe I can't reach G3 in Europe. And it makes sense. Even in global, there are people with better rune quality than I do, better units. And if they start playing more seriously, I'm pretty sure every week, I'll not be able to hit G3, even if I tried. Let's take a look at his arena, which will tell us how he reached G3. If you look at the record, he reached rank 23, which is a solid G3 still, but his defense rate was 3%, so his offense did the entire thing. Your defense did nothing practically, right? Getting 12 wins out of 300 hits, that's like, whoa. This is why I tell people offense is more important than defense. However, there are still many people that come to me and want a defense improvement, thinking that defense is so important. It is important, guys, yeah, but if your victory rate is 80%, I would focus on trying to get it 90%. Because I think that overall will help more. Previous week and his current week is C1. It looks like by the amount he's hitting people, he's not very active in arena right now. Reason why he didn't ask for an arena improvement, or reason why he didn't improve it himself. But I do think he has the box to get better arena offenses. So let's check out his offense. Defense, I mean, this could be Lucian food if it's tuned well enough. Definitely Tiana, Pengbek, Chung Peng food. A lot of foods for this. But I think these two will be changed. I mean, maybe he doesn't have a Cardinal. He does, never mind. So I'll put that, and I'll put a Darien, right? And make it 100 res like he has right now. This is not 100 res. It looks like he might be using it in Siege, seeing the build. This is fine. I like a fast Abelio. It doesn't have to be 100 res. Many people said on the comments on my previous improvement videos, Abelio doesn't have to have high resistance. And thinking about it, kind of makes sense because of his passive. He'll take more turns. He does proc, and in defense, they even proc more. He will get his heal back up in certain cases. And then Cardinal, just tanky and high accuracy, at least 100 speed, will do the job. Arena offense, so he does have a Tiana, Galleon, Poseidon team, and it looks like he wants to outspeed Tiana not being too fast, he won't be able to outspeed many fast teams, and I believe if you're going to tanky teams, this won't be enough damage. He definitely does have something that does more damage with the Kaki, so that's good. Pretty inefficient seeing how high of a crit damage he has, but okay. He also has a Pengbaek offense that's not being used. He also has a Changpeng Pengbaek, the one I used, but the Changpeng not being skilled up is surprising. He has a Devolution, and then the Zeros, Tiana, Galleon, Ganymede, which is also not using because I know that the Zeros is not being used. If I had to just pick one offense that I'll make for him, I mean, I could make like two at least. The offense I'll hit the hardest will probably be the Leah team. It just makes no sense to not make an offense like this when you have the Leah. Let's look into RTA. He is in C1 with a 52% win rate, so that is kind of cutting it close, meaning it first means that you are almost to where you're supposed to be at. The closer you are to 50% means you're right on the right spot. You did have a higher win rate when you got your best score and also your pass record, but you were playing around F3. So it looks like in this season, something about the meta is not fitting you well. Let's look at your box. A very small box going a Japanese cleave. Draco much slower than your Bastet, so if they ban your Bastet, the chance of you getting outsped is much higher. You're only running one speed lead, probably losing a lot. Yeah, I mean, this makes sense why you have such a low win rate, 50%, closer to 50%. It's just because you don't have the correct units out there. Oh, you're running the Fei actually. You're running the Fei. I'll run the Shimete, but due to the fact that there are these units like this, and also Nana, there you go. You'll see Abelios, right? Carno, Praha. Yeah, all of these units that counter cleave so much are now present. It is much harder like this. It is much harder to win with Japanese cleave. I think there are rarely anybody in Guardian that runs a Japanese cleave. It's just not that simple anymore. So, but if it makes sense, if you don't have a lot of time, you just want to go through your wings and wing through it, get your medals, then sure, do whatever you want. And yeah, but if I had to run a team, I'm not gonna pick anything out, but I would run obviously the Nikki, the Juno, from this portion. But the Samantha will be a pick, the Praha will be a pick, the Annabelle. I mean, I'm not saying this regarding your rune quality. I'm just talking about all the units that are viable and good in RTA. Poseidon will be good, Molong obviously, Josephine will be usable, Abelio, Bolverk, the Rika, Verd, yeah, Triple Revenge, the Laika. So you definitely have a whole lot of units. You have the Masha too, Masha, Carnal. You don't have the Oliver though, but if they bring out Oliver, you could definitely bring out Masha. So Masha first pick is definitely a good way to go. You have the Changpeng that's not scaled up, so I will start working on that. You have a lot of good units, it's just that you're not building them and you're not playing the team. So nothing too much to say here. If you're interested, let me know and I'll try to be more clear about this. You do have some of the runes and the box to get at least C1, at least to safely secure C1 in my opinion. That was it for this account review. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. If you guys have any other thoughts about this account, please put a comment below and let the account owner know, because I'm pretty sure he will appreciate any comments there. If you guys are interested in account reviews like this, again, please join my Discord. Yes, you could comment on this because comments help the video, but when I reply, I'm gonna say, please join the Discord. Yeah, but that was it, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.